Me partnering with integrity means I'm here to stay. As in, I love this industry. I'm more excited about it than I have ever been. As a matter of fact, I am like the tail number on my jet. I'm in 24/7. Are you?
We all got the same amount of time, and it's going to take a time, and it depends on how we use our time. But what do you got your mind set on? What do you got your mind set on? I love what Ray said earlier, and that's why Mike had her say it, because it's what you got your mind set on is what you're going to get. And she's got her mind set on agency manager by the end of November. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take money, and it's going to take patience. And Mike, I love that I have an opportunity to be a partner with $1 billion company. I said it at the agency managers meeting in Tampa. I was glad to hear your wife repeat what I had said at one of these meetings, I think at TWC about a month back, because it resonated. And it is something that's major, and all of us have an opportunity to grab it.
World, watch. You're going to see something you ain't never seen before. Is about ready to see what the Alliance can do, baby.
Alaska, baby. The last great frontier. Maybe, I don't know, Alaska. It's cold up there, so I got my jacket on, and they got ice glaciers. We're going to cruise Alaska. It's not just a cruise, it's a journey. The ovation of the seas. We are going cruising. And where are we going while we're cruising in Alaska? Juneau. Yes, I know, it's Juneau. It is the largest capital in the United States of America. You're gonna see orcas, you're gonna see humpback whales, you're gonna see them sea dogs, you're gonna see the sea sails, you're gonna see everything up in Juneau, because Juneau. Have you ever been dog sledding? You get on the back of the sled. Or you're down like this right here. You like this right here. There's a country song that says, if I never get to see the Northern Lights, I bet you go on this cruise, you're gonna get to see the Northern Lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Filmed today in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina. Now, let's hear from our special guest host, Jeff Wright.
Good morning, Alliance Nation. This is Tia Ray. I am your marketing director. Jeff Wright is your host today, but he wanted me to jump on here first and go over some leaderboards before he dives into all of what he has to share today and all of our special guests. So let's get it started. Let's start with some activity numbers. Multitasking today, so give me a second here. All right. Top 3 life producers for the week. Number 3, Marcus and Carla Richardson with 14,389. Holy guacamole. Kyle and Janina Wilson with 16,761. Coming in first place, not a shocker, Megan Wood with $31,616. Good job, guys. Top 12 life producers issue paid. So these have been approved.
Now, let's hear it for our special guest host, Jeff Wright.
Yoo-hoo! Jeff Wright! That was weird. Okay, back to the real show. Top 12 life producers. So this is issue paid. This means they have gotten it approved. Money in the bank. Coming in number 12, Mimi Romero with 6,825. Katie Williams with 7,210. Jason and Chastity Garland with 7,358. Chris Abear with 7,437. Marcus and Carla Richardson with 7,872. Kyle and Janina Wilson, $8,044. Joe Dukes and Venus, $8,087. Omar Stewart, pretty sure this is a new guy, right, Lou?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. 8,175. Eric and Bobby Belair with 8,326. Lee Reyes, 8,808. Mercedes and Gustavo, 9,284. And then coming in at number 1 with 40 life applications issue paid for $12,633. Good job. All right, top 5 annuity producers. Number 5, Jeremy and Amy Patton, $50,000. Jake and Belle Krause, $50,520. Harry Cayenne, might be right, $80,000. Calvin Jones, hey, I know Calvin Jones, $100,000. Good job, buddy. Dan Gelino, $103,000, coming in at number 1 for annuity issue paid sales for the week. All right, top 3 foresters producers. Number 3, Andrea Poston, 4,812. Number 2, David Bragg, 4,893. And Joanne Faquaint, think I said that right. 5,457. Lots of new names on here. That's great. Top 3 CVS producers for the week. William Smitherman, 2,000. Mimi Romero, 2,436. And Kyle and Janina Wilson coming in with number 1 for CVS sales for the week with 2,583. Good job. All right, top 10 recruiters. Dee Henderson with 1, Sarah Drake 1, John Booter with 1, Mike Hartley, Big Mike, that's my man, 1. Jason and Sharon Grant, 1. Fitzgerald, 1. Mike and Brittany Rodriguez, 2. Andy Riddle coming in with 3. Olga and Jason Mathis right there, 3 for the week. And Jeremy and Amy Patton with 4 recruits. All right, let's switch over here to some contests. So Andy loves to run contests. How can we incentivize you guys or trick you guys into selling Mo insurance? And typically trips, prizes, all the fun stuff is what fires you guys up and gets you to sell just a little bit more than you were going to do originally. So in September, we are going to Treasure Island, Florida. And the F&G winners, so this contest started back in July, I think back in July, for F&G annuity sales. And the winners of this contest will get to hang out with Andy and Jane, get training. They'll have dinner on the beach at Andy and Jane's house. They'll go to other dinners. They'll get to do excursions and stuff like that. So this is going to be a really, really big fun time. And these guys look like they're going to get to go. But there's still like 15 days left, so you never know. All right, number 10. Elena Imadobi, right now, she's coming in. Michelle Jones, looks like you're going. Joseph, too, looks like you're going. Joe Dukes, Marisol Ramirez, Awa Patton, Shavonda Griffin, Doug Becker, Marvin and Julissa Otsoy, and then number 1, NP, new guy. They are going to get to hang out with F&G, Ben Holmes, have dinner with the Albrights. It's going to be a great time. So, but there is still time. Marvin Osuna, you are not far behind, buddy. Jump up on in there. All right, we have some new winners for Alaska this week. So in 2022, next spring, we will get to go to Alaska. Eric and Bobby Belair just won the extension, so they will get to go on the main portion of the cruise, as well as go to Seattle with those who did just a little bit more and get to hang out with some more cool people. Michelle Collin, congratulations, girl. You're going to Alaska. And Olga and Jason Mathis, you have won it on the producer side. Woohoo! All right. That is it for the leaderboards for this week, but I want to show you guys how you find all of this stuff. So Tia, I'm new to the Alliance. How do I find what contests you have going on? How do I find where I'm ranked? How do I find where Andy Albright is going to be this week? How do I find where Jason Mathis is going to be this week? Jeff Bright, where are you traveling to? Where's all that located? Really easy. I want you to go to arc.naaleads.com. You probably go here every day to see how much money you're making. But while you're on the main page, scroll down. And on the left-hand side, we have all of our leaderboards. And these update typically every Wednesday during the TWC. So if you click on it, you get to see everything I just showed you. So you can scroll through here. There's a lot of leaderboards that we didn't even go through on the show, but you can go back and see where you are ranked among everyone else. In addition to that, you scroll on down, upcoming events. Andy Albright is in San Antonio today. Actually, that's happening right now. And then in El Paso tonight. And if you have not purchased your Alliance National Convention tickets, that's the top one right there. Click it. It's going to bring you right to our ticket page. You can purchase your National Convention tickets there. And then if you go a little bit further down, you can see a full list of August opportunity meetings. You can send your new guys to these places. training sessions. They're all, so Gina Hawks is doing some Medicare training. You can see where she's going to be. So really keep up with that stuff. And the last thing before I kick it over to Jeff Bright, if you go underneath resources, you're still on arc.naaleads.com, and go under resources and click contest flyers, it's going to show you every contest we're currently running. So if you want to be incentivized, go here and say, great, I like writing with F&G. What can I do extra with F&G this month so that I can win something? And it's going to explain to you the contest rules, how you win, what you've got to do. Tia, how do I win Alaska? How many points does it take? All of that information is right here. Easy to find. Now, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Jeff Bright.
Well, I'm live from Andy Albright's desk. Probably recognize I'm not Andy Albright. At least I got part of his name, just not the all part. And I have Andy here in spirit with me. You know, he's right here keeping me company. Andy has given me the opportunity to share with you guys some things that I've been working on and doing since mid-May. I gave a little talk at convention about the fact that I'm working with agents now. I started off with about 7 agents, moved my way up to now I'm over 40 agents. So the words got out, and I realized one thing when I'm working with these agents, I can't do it alone. And also cannot reinvent the wheel, nor should I, because the wheel's already been invented. So I've got a reason for everybody to be on this call. They all going to play a part in the explanation of what I've been doing since mid-May and how they have assisted me and how they can continue to assist what I'm doing and what you're doing. And we've got some testimonials and we've got some examples. But I need to do a little prerequisite with you. Andy would want me to go back over this because even though I've said it a lot over the last couple of months, I think I need to repeat it, even though I went over at conference for 20 minutes. I want to set the stage for today's talk, which is what am I doing to get these people to sell more, to write more applications, because that is the metric by which I'm using to measure their success. How many applications they're writing, not how many dials they're doing, not how many, no, I don't look at issue paid. I just look at applications submitted. So if that is the metric that I'm using, then I look at weekly apps and then I look at their monthly apps. And it seems to be working. So far, it seems to be working. So I want to go over the questions that I asked these folks, because today's talk is mostly geared to how I'm getting them to write apps and sell better and more. But Friday's talk, we're going to have these same people. If they will assist me on Friday, they'll be on the Friday talk, and we'll shift gears, and we'll move the talk to driving depth with these people. But today's talk is individual production, and we're going to concentrate on that. Just remember, Friday's talk will be about driving depth. So today I have representing leads, because listen, I have found out in the last couple of months, the thing that does come up a lot is the conversation wraps itself real quick around the subject of leads, getting leads. We have a great automobile here. It can do a lot of things, but it can't go without gas, and the gas that goes in that automobile is supplied by Ashlyn, and Ashlyn will be on the call, and I'll ask Ashlyn some conversations with Ashlyn. We're gonna kind of go play back and forth, and I'm gonna ask her some questions that I've been asked by the agents, and maybe she can clarify some things for us about leads. Then I've got Clay Murtis. He's going to be on the call talking about President's Club, because a lot of the things that these folks need and need assistance on, President's Club can assist them. So I want to point out the resources we have available that, I may be on the call to motivate you, but I need these folks to help you with the logistics of your business. Now, I've got some special guests here where I've got Lou Abadi, I got Jason Mathis, and Terry Edwards. I have been working with their people in different capacities. They're going to give examples of what I've been doing with their folks and what has been working. So this is the reason all these folks are on the call. But before I do this, I need to kind of go over what the conversation is when I first meet somebody for the first time. When I'm being introduced to this person, I do an interview and I ask them 4 questions, and we try to find out if there's going to be a fit. And this conversation we're going to have today is going to be wrapped around these 4 questions, so it's important that you understand them. So when I meet somebody new, and it could be a brand new person that's brand new to the Alliance, or it could be somebody that's been around for 6 months, a year, has been doing something in the past, but has sit down for the last couple of months, or they haven't done anything in the last year, and I'm just trying to rejuvenate them and get them back into the system and try to get them more active. It's all about activity. I'm trying to improve their activity. So the first question, and if you heard me speak at the convention, you've heard these questions, but I'm going to go into much more detail today about these 4 questions. I'm going to go over them briefly, and then we're going to get into our conversations with these people. But I'll go at the end with time remaining. I'll go back into detail about what these questions really mean. All right. So the first question I ask people is, what I want to know is, do you want to sell insurance? I know that seems, pretty obvious. They've got an insurance license, and then I'm asking them, do they want to sell insurance? Well, I'm trying to find out, do they realize what this is all about? Do they understand what they signed up for? And we get some clarification about their want to. And I want you to understand that if this question is a big fat yes for you, then it should correlate into question 3, and we shouldn't have a problem with getting a yes from question 3. But if you told me that your want is huge, I would ask you, why do you want to sell insurance? I would follow up with the want to, with the why, because I think your why or your purpose is going to drive question 3 when I get there. Folks that tell me they want to, but they really didn't mean it, they were like fuzzy about it, it's going to show up in question 3. All right? And question 2 is, do you need to sell insurance? Now, this is strictly about your financial need. I'm looking for folks that need money. I'm not looking for folks that don't need money. If you're like me, I'm about 3 paychecks away from poverty. I need some money. By the way, 3 paychecks away from poverty is called middle class in the United States. Most of us are there. I'm looking for folks that need money. So if you need money, then probably, and that need is really great, it's probably going to correlate real well in getting a yes to question number 4. Because question number 1 and 2, setting the groundwork for question 3 and 4. Because question 3 and 4 is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you decide whether you're going to be successful. Just giving me an answer to question 1 and 2, it's really your intentions that I'm hearing. I'm hearing you intend to do this business. You intend to be successful, but there's no guarantees by saying yes to question 1, I want to, and yes to question 2, I need to. So we're moving to question 3 now. And question 3, sometimes I think folks, they get a little shocked by question 3, especially the way I explain it. And I don't mean to shock your system when I ask this question, but I have to ask it. Are you willing to sell insurance? Are you willing to make it? It's 2 things. Are you willing to make a sacrifice? Are you willing to make this business and your activity within this business a priority? So I always use the example when I meet somebody brand new for the first time, they're working with me for the first time. I use the example is that you probably going to need to buy some leads from Ashland. And after you buy leads from Ashland, Guess what happens next? You're probably going to have to make dials. More than likely, you're going to have to make some dials by buying leads. Those kind of go hand in hand. If that shocks you right off the bat, we're going to have trouble with the rest of this conversation. So you buy a lead so you can call the lead. And then we say, we try to decide together how many dials can they make on a certain day. So we just pick a day and we say like Monday. So how many dials do you think you can make in an hour? They'll say about 40 or 50. So let's just say 40. And I say, hey, can you dial for 2 hours? Yes. So 40 and 40, the last time I checked, is 80. So that's 80 dials. And we pick a time. We actually pick a time, a 2-hour period together from 3 to 5, for example. And they're gonna make a dial. They're gonna make 80 dials. And we talk about how many people they should contact. And we get a good number for them starting out, and we decide maybe, hey, they're going to make 10 contacts. That would be success, 10 contacts. And I'm hoping that's what they're going to do, because I'm going to talk to them the following week, and the first question out of my mouth is, did you make those dials? Well, when it starts off well, when somebody starts a conversation with the word well, I kind of cringe, and I'm kind of getting a little bit aggravated, frustrated. But, well, Mr. Jeff, let me tell you what happened. It gets worse. So now they're going to tell me these excuses. I'm like, hey, just tell me, how many dials did you make? Well, no, I don't need well. I need how many dials? 25. All right, so do we have a problem? Well, let me explain to you. Yeah, we do have a problem. The difference between 25 and 80 is our problem. The difference between what is supposed to be and what is a problem. Because you promised me 80. Well, I intended to. Mr. Jeff, I wanted to do 80. You got to believe me when I say I wanted to. And you know I need to. Yeah, I know you need. You told me about your finances. I know you need to. I know you wanted to, you need to. But that want need didn't make you do 80, did it? No, it did not. So you really wasn't willing to do 80. You wanted to and you needed to, but you wasn't willing to. See, the definition of willing to is making a sacrifice. For that 2 hours, you have to put everything in your life second. I want you to put your family first in your life. I want you to put your God first in your life. I want you to put your kids first in your life. I want you to put your friends first in your life. But those 2 hours you promised me are my 2 hours now, if you're working with me. You promised me those 2 hours. Don't tell me my kid had a ball game and I chose to do that versus to doing the dials. That's not going to flush with me. You're working with the wrong fellow. You need to go work with somebody else. Because I just, hey, you can't schedule over what you promised me if a better offer came along, called fun. Get your obligations worked out around those 2 hours. That's the definition of willing to. Do you now see why willing to becomes a big barrier for us to move forward? People love to talk about want to and need to because there's no guarantees after that. But there's somewhat of a guarantee now when we start talking about willing to. So willing to is a tough topic. We're going to come back to all these. I got more about this, but let's do the last question. Are you going to sell insurance? See, at the end of the day, I really don't concern myself whether you're willing to, you need to, or you want to. I just want to know what you're going to do. Because you know what? I can look at your numbers. We got a whole pack of beavers back here in a room. They give me your real numbers, not what you tell me you're doing, but I go back to the beaver den and they tell me exactly what you've been doing. They give me all kinds of spreadsheets with all kinds of columns, more information I could ever want as an auditor. But they give me all this stuff and they break it down for me so I know exactly. You cannot hide from these beavers. They have laid it out. So I'll now know Did you hit your apps for the week? Now, when I say apps for the week, applications submitted. That's all you have to do is submit an app to get a tick mark with me. Because the going to question is all wrapped around it's really code for what you have to do. See, I've created a 3-number plan that forces you into a have-to mode. I'm trying to get you out of a need to a have to, because you're not going to do anything just because you need to. You're only going to do what you have to do. So I force you into a have-to mode by creating a 3-number plan. So I'm going to explain this 3-number plan, then I'm going to shut up a little bit and start playing host and ask questions, and then I'll come back to these 4 questions. If that's cool with everybody, I hope it is. I don't know why I'm asking you, because you can't respond. It doesn't really matter. I feel like Ferris Bueller's day off. Okay, so the 3-number plan. The first number is really the most important number for me. Not for you, but for me. For me to be successful in getting you to move, because that's how I measure success. I'm getting you to be active and move forward. Get out of this funk that you've been in for the last 6 months and get you moving and submitting apps. That first number represents what we call your minimum. Please do not get this confused. I can't tell you how many agents are getting this number confused and this explanation confused with the second number. I am not talking about your goal right now. I am talking about your minimum. The minimum number of applications that are required. You notice I said required, because it is a requirement. It's not a suggestion. It's not I hope you do it. And you can't come back and say I intended to do it. You must hit your minimum. If I have a big must there, I must have a really good consequence behind that must, or I can't use that in a sentence. So my consequence is, if you don't hit your minimums for a month, I drop you off my schedule. Doesn't mean that we're going to stop. We're going to keep helping you. I'm just not going to talk to you until you get back to hitting your minimums. You go back to your upline. You can call Clay. Clay will talk to you. Ashlyn will sell you leads. But I'm not going to talk to you until you hit your minimum, because you lied to me. And I'm hurt by it, and I need about a month to get over it. Okay? All right. So the minimum could be anything. I am going to lowball you. If I can, I'm going to convince you to pick the lowest number besides 0. The lowest number I know is a 1. I'm going to say, you probably, I'll ask people, how many apps have you written in the last 2 years? 6. 6 total for the whole 2 years. Wow. Okay. 2 years, 6 apps. How many do you think you can do a week? 5? We're getting off on the wrong foot here. I mean, am I speaking English? I don't know. I mean, you've done 6 in the last 2 years, and you just said you can hit 5. That would be 5 a week. That would be 20. The rate you're doing it every 2 years, 6, I'll be dead before you get to 20. So we're going to start off with 1. 1 app is your minimum for a week. And then that means 4 for the month. 4 is now your new 0. That's your starting point. You must get 4. I don't care if the world's coming to an end. 10 pandemics attack us. Martians come down and grab you and take you to their spaceship. You better sell somebody on that ship 4 applications. You better write 4 apps. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. So be careful what you wish for. Don't be dialing me and saying, I saw you on TWC. I think I want to work with you. No, you don't. Not if you don't want to hit these minimums. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm a nice guy. I'm an otter. Sweetheart of a guy. But I ain't working with you unless you hit the minimums. I'll tell you I love you when I tell you I can't talk to you anymore. I love you, though, and I mean it. You matter. Or I'll tell you that. Now, second number is your goal. This is what I'm trying to get you to. Your goal. So let's say the first number is 1. A lot of people that hadn't done anything in a while are brand new. I start them off on a 1-3-5 plan, a 1-3-5. Jason knows about this. Lou knows all about this. Terry knows all about this. So a 3 would be 3 a week, which would be 12 a month, which probably gets you what? You guys got to help me on this. Probably about, Clay, help me on this, probably about 5,000 issue paid. If we did 12 a month. Is that about right? Something like that? Yep.
It'd be more like 12,000 issue paid, but $5,000 in your bank, Jeff.
$5,000 in your bank. Okay, that's good. That's good. So three's a great goal. Great goal. We gotta have a middle number. Gotta have a middle number. So I don't celebrate if you hit 4. I don't celebrate your minimum. I go, I'll give you 1 class. That's it. We don't celebrate your minimum. We celebrate the heck out of that second number. Now the last number is this number. If you could hit it, you could get out of being 3 paychecks away from poverty, and you could start to live a better life. You have some breathing room. Now, I didn't say this is the ultimate number that you want to be the next Bill Gates. I didn't say that number because people misunderstand. They'll go, I know what my numbers are going to be. They're going to be 1, 5, and 40. I said, 40 a week? 40 a week? And you hadn't done but 6 in 2 years? Ooh, no. That's not going to be your get some breathing room number. It's going to be a 5. Because 5 a week is 20 a month. That would be, Clay, help me with this. Would that be, if we did 20 apps a month, I know it's not apples to apples. I know it's all about AP. But could that get me 10K? 10K
in income. Yeah.
In income.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
That's important. That's important. It's important that because let me tell you why that's important. I've decided, I picked a number, I think it's a good number. Success for me, working with you, is to get you to 10,000 issue paid 3 months in a row, and then I'm through working with you. I'm going to turn you back over to your upline, and I'm going to talk to people that hadn't been doing anything, that have been struggling a little bit. I'm going to work with them. But I want to get you to 10,000 issue paid 3 months in a row. Now, I'm not going to get you there by a 1-3-5 plan. I'm not. It sounds like I would. But most people are never going to hit that last number. They're not going to hit the last number. They're going to hit the second number. So guess what I do? And Jason knows that I do this. The goal is to do this. Eventually, after you start hitting that minimum for a couple of months, I'm going to move the minimum. I'm going to get rid of the first number. And the second number becomes your minimum. The third number becomes your goal. And then we have a new third number. That's how I'm going to get you to 10,000 issue pay. So, for example, if you're a 1-3-5, I'm going to get rid of the 1. 3 becomes your minimum. 5 becomes your goal. That's going to get me to the 10,000 issue paid. And then 7 becomes, I got some breathing room. You see how I did that? I slide the numbers. So that's the plan. That's how. Now, how do I get people into a have-to mode? It's the minimum. See, if I want to get people out of a need-to mindset, then they have to have a consequence to get to a have-to mode. And the consequence is they must hit the minimum or I won't work with them. So they have, you notice I didn't say they needed to hit the minimum. They have to hit the minimum. There ain't no need-to business going on here. They have to. All right. We're going to come back to these as time permits, but I want to get into with our guest. So I'm going to bring out toward the end after I talk to Clay and Ashlyn. But we'll talk to Jason and Lou, and we're going to talk to Terry. But first, I want to talk to our people that are in the building with us, that are our staff, and that I want them to tell you how they connect with these numbers and how they can assist me and how they can assist you. They are great resources. I cannot do this on my own. All I can do is be a talking head or a voice on the phone to motivate these people. I will share later some tricks that I get people to move with. I have lots of tricks. I will share some of those tricks later. But we still need the infrastructure. We need the infrastructure that Clay provides, and we need that gas that the queen of leads, who has graced us with her presence today. Ashlyn Davis is the queen of leads. She just lacks the crown. But Clay says that he might find her a crown one day. All right, so Ashlyn, can you unmute yourself? I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Yes, sir.
You ready? You're ready. All right. So Ashlyn, just tell them who you are, you know, even though I've done that, say, you know, what you're over, and then I'm going to ask you these questions.
Okay. Hey, y'all. My name is Ashlyn Davis, and I am in charge of our lead performance team here at the headquarters.
Great, great. So you heard my 4 questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you some things that correlate with that. All right. So tell me, I know this will kind of catch you off guard a little bit. It's kind of a little tricky, but tell me why someone would need to set up a GMR.
To get weekly leads flowing in every single week.
Every single week.
Every single week.
Which is important to drive consistency, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. She brings up a good point here about consistent leads coming in, because my plan is it will not work if we just think about do a GMR, you know, for this period of time, shut it down and pick it back up. We need to be consistently connected to the system. That's why I don't want them to do 4 apps the last week of the month. I want them to do 1 each week. I want them to consistently stay in connection with the system. So that, I'm glad you brought that up, Ashlyn. All right. So tell me why somebody would want to set up a GMR versus needing to.
So why they would want to set up a GMR is to get those consistent leads coming in every week, to stay consistent and not be inconsistent. Because if you've got consistent leads coming in every single week, that's consistent apps every single week and consistent cash flow every single week.
Okay. Now here's a trick question. Here's the first trick question of the day. Tell me 3 things that could happen, negative things that could happen if you don't set up a GMR.
You're not going to hit your minimum goal of your apps every week because you're not going to have the leads. You're going to be late to the party because if you don't set up a GMR, you're giving everybody else in the alliance an opportunity to go in and take over a county and max out that county, and we can't create any more leads there. So we're not going to be able to create leads there if you wait and allow someone else to go in and scoop up those leads before you do. And I would say the third thing is inconsistency. Inconsistency leads to procrastination. And what happens when procrastination sets in? You don't buy leads. So you're not running apps and you're not running any business and helping families, and you don't have that money coming in every single week.
Yeah. See, Ashlyn, one of the things that comes up often when I'm working with these people is that they are not buying enough leads. If I wanted somebody to hit 2 as their minimum, 2 apps a week as their minimum, if they're on a 2-4-6 plan, for example, 2-4-6, and I need them to hit 2 a week, how many leads money-wise should they invest to make that a reality for their minimum?
Anywhere between $100 to $200.
And that's a week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that's important. And because a lot of times they'll try to make 80 dials, and they'll have 5 leads. How many leads do you think you need for 80 dials?
I would say anywhere between probably 100 to 200. I don't think it ever hurts to have extra leads to book extra appointments. because our leads aren't perfect. I mean, they're good, but no lead is perfect at the end of the day. You're going to run across disconnected and wrong telephone numbers here and there. People are going to yell at you. So the more leads that you have, the more activity you're able to put in.
Yeah, and I think what I was really asking, not the money amount then. I know you gave me the money amount again. I was thinking about, should I have 15 leads to make 80 dials?
No. I think you need more than 15. I would get 30 to 50.
Oh, really? That many? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of them are trying to make 80 dials with 15 leads. Not going to work?
That ain't going to work.
That ain't going to work. Yeah. See, I need to know all this because they can shoot me a line of bull, and I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And then the next week they go, it didn't work. Like, well, I tell you why it didn't work. Because Ashland said, you need more than 15 leads. All right. So, Ashland, thank you. I may need to come back to you, but I'm going to go to Clay now. Is that all right?
That's okay.
Clay, let's just keep to this same format if that's all right with you. Tell me why somebody would need. Well, let's Clay, introduce yourself and tell them what you do, and then I'll ask you these questions.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Hello, my name is Clay Murtis. I'm the Director of President's Club here at the Alliance Corporate Office. This is year number 7 for me, Jeff. It's crazy. We've known each other 7 years, man, and I am just crazy grateful to Andy and Jane. 7 years ago, my life was on a different trajectory, and they have completely altered that course in a way that is so crazy positive and awesome. And I've gotten to do so many crazy things and hang out with crazy cool people like you, Jeff, and Ashland here at the corporate office, and of course our agent force across the country, man. That's why we do it, is the awesome relationships we got. So I'm just crazy grateful to be a part of this team and be a part of the Alliance.
Oh, hey, I've seen y'all grow up. Of course, I've known Ashland since she was 16, 17. How old were you, Ashland, when I met you? Ashland, she's not listening to us.
I'm back in. My phone hung up on you guys, so I had to dial back in.
So how old were you when I met you?
Me? I think 18. I was just right out of high school.
Yeah, right out of high school. So I've known Ashland a long time because she would, my favorite restaurant, she was, her and her twin sister would confuse me about which one was the server and which one was the hostess. But back to Clay. So Clay, the President's Club. Why would somebody need to be in President's Club?
Why would they need to be as opposed to want to be, Jeff? I think you need to talk to people like Lucero Diaz. She's traveling the country right now, flying on a jet with the team all over different cities, helping people. She's a sales lady, talking to people. So you need to talk to the team. Stephanie Lee, we got a new guy, Drew Ashley, Jeff. He just fast-tracked his first person today, so he's learning how to recruit. He's getting his license. He's taking his test later on this week. So you need to talk to the team here in President's Club because we'll help kind of be a backup to your backup. You need to have a person to call as a backup in the home. So if you can't get Lou, you can't get Andy Riddle, you can't get Omar, you can't get somebody in your organization, you can call President's Club and we'll be your backup if you're in the home and need sales support. You're eventually going to need staff, Jeff. I talked to Andy and he said that's the first thing he did when he started this business was he hired staff. So that's something President's Club can do is we can help you hire staff because if you don't have an admin, you are your own admin. So if you didn't know it, if you're in President's Club and this is a revelation or you're thinking about being in President's Club, we can help you hire your staff. We'll help you post an ad. We'll train them up. Stephanie Lee is a BA. I'm not going to use the word, but she is awesome. She is bad to the bone when it comes to helping people get trained up and learning how to do administrative tasks. So you're going to need the extra support and help in order to go from just an agent to an entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, let's continue this discussion and let's just put want to in there. Why does somebody want to be in President's Club?
Yeah. And so the wants are kind of like the cool extra things that are going to help grow your business, but they're not going to be extremely necessary, right? So like necessary is the things that like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I don't have this. The wants are the cool things that are going to take you from here to the next level. So we use that analogy the other day, Jeff, with like the accelerant in your vehicle. These aren't the things that are going to make or break your business, but they may take your vehicle from 280 horsepower to 300 horsepower, baby. So it's stuff like websites. In President's Club, you get your own personal branded website with your own URL. Our IT team design these things. They look bad to the bone, man. When somebody goes to your website and clicks on there, they are going to get directed right back to you as a lead. You're going to want to get to be paid in President's Club. We pay our top producers, Jeff. And how it works is if you're in President's Club and you hit production levels, we pay you. At 20,000, we're paying you back in your membership dues. So anybody over 20,000 is getting paid by President's Club. 10,000, you're getting half your membership back in lead credit. And what I love about it is it's one of those like tricks Andy uses to get you to produce more. He's good at those. He's good at giving us little tricks and incentives to produce and grow our business more. Now, the crazy part is, Jeff, if you get over 30,000 in production, President's Club starts paying you in lead credit. We give you more money than you pay in every single month. So you're going to want to get paid by President's Club, because who doesn't want a little extra money, Jeff? Come on, man. Other things you might want, we got a WebPres video service that'll send videos to your clients. It'll explain products to them, so that way it'll help you make more sales. We got prescription cards that'll pay you. You're going to want $1.50 every time somebody uses your prescription card, Jeff. You're going to want it, baby. That's an example of just some wants. We got more.
That's good, Clay. I like that. Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. That Ashland is the gas that goes in the car, and you're the fuel additive to get better gas mileage. Yeah. So hey, same thing. Little trick question for you that I did, Ashland. She handled it real well. See how you handle it. What are the 3 negatives that could happen if you don't use President's Club?
So I think that's a tough question, Jeff. And I think it comes back to like the light of day. We talk about it a lot. So if you're listening and you don't know what day is, that's duplication, association, and edification. So I think you miss out on the light of day in President's Club. So duplicate, all the top producers are in President's Club. All the top managers are in President's Club. So through being in President's Club, you get the opportunity to duplicate their efforts, what they're doing, what the best of the best are doing. Association, we have President's Club training calls. I know Terry's hosted one of my calls recently. He killed it, right? So you get to associate with Terry because of him lighting it up on the call. You get to associate with other President's Club members. I mean, heck, you can call me up and send one of your recruits here to the corporate office, and we're going to hang out with them. We're going to treat them like gold. Jason Mathis does that all the time. It's been very effective. He's got an agent down in Charlotte that he sent up, and just a cool guy that we love to hang out with, Mr. Elam, Ed. And I like to hope that we had 1% impact on him signing up. So that's a great way that Jason uses us. He helps associate people. So if you're not in President's Club, we'll still do that. But because me and Jason have a tight relationship, he just texted me and said, hey, I got this guy I'm going to send up, and gets him around associating with us. And then, of course, edification, Jeff. It edifies the system by being in President's Club. And then also when we're talking to your people, we're not saying anything crazy. We're edifying you as the manager, as the upline. That's our goal, is to kind of help create that triangulation and edify the people that are killing it and doing it. So by not being in President's Club, I think you have the potential to miss out on that DAE.
That's good. I like that, Clay. That's really good. Good analogy there. Great analogy. All right. So let's move to our Clay and Ash. We're going to move to our guest here, hear from them. I want to start. I have this order I want to go in because I've got this way I want to do it. So I'm controlling this call, so I'm going to do it the way I want to. So we're going to start with Jason. Jason Mathis, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. What's up, Jeff Bright?
What's up, Jason? Now, Jason, you tell them, those who are brand new, tell them who Jason Mathis is, and then I've got a question for you.
Jason Mathis is the husband to Olga Mathis. I'm married dad. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I locked that down.
Yeah.
And so she started with the Alliance 8 years ago. I joined about a year and a half later, and it's been an awesome ride. We have plugged into you, the corporate staff, Clay and Ashland. I'll tell you one thing, just to give a shout out to these two people. I look at Ashland and her team and Clay and his team as just an extension of my agency. It's like, I'm going to get into that because I don't have the money to get staff right at the second. But if I can have Ashland do all the lead stuff, talk to my people, educate them about leads, set them up with instant purchase GMRs, then that's something I don't have to do. So I was like, heck yeah. And with Clay, and I don't even know what I paid for President Club. Don't tell nobody this, but I'd pay double, whatever it is, because I've got Clay and his whole team. And it's like having this whole extra staff that I don't got to pay for. So thank you for that. So if you guys aren't in that President's Club, get into it. It's awesome. We started with the Alliance, and we're national managers now and love the Alliance and help families. We got awesome products. I've been in financial services the bulk of my career. And some of the products we had, IULs and this mortgage protection stuff, I didn't even really know it was out there. You know, so we just got great products, and we service our clients and do that. So that's who I am.
So, Jason, you and I have been working together on this 3-number plan for about a month or so, right?
Yep.
And you've got about how many people that we are working with on the 3-number plan?
Yeah, we've got 9 people. I was fired up when I heard about what you were doing, and I wanted in, Jeff. I said, I want more Jeff Bright in my dagnum agency. You wrote this book, which I loved. You've written some other books. Andy Albright picked you to be a consultant with us, and I said, I don't know what Jeff's doing, but I want in. And I called you up and I said, let's get in. You said, okay, we'll talk about it at Fame Reunion. And we done put it together.
All right. And so what I'm using Jason today as an example of how I'm going to have to do this in the future, because there's only one of me, and I can't have, well, I am doing a 30-minute call every 30 minutes every day. And I can't reach as many people as I need to reach. So Jason said, how about you not talking to all 9 separately? I put them all on the same call, and we created a Zoom call on a Monday night at 8 p.m. every Monday night. So Jason, tell them, you have these people. We put them on the number plan. Tell about their progression and what's happening as we do these calls.
Well, Jeff, I want to say thank you. Who in the heck gets a Jeff Bright at 8 to 9 o'clock at night? That is crazy.
Not many people.
30 years. You've taken what the Alliance does, your 30 years of education, mashed it all together, and now we get you for an hour to ourselves, 9 people. Man, just your availability is crazy insane. And I just want to say, people that are on that call, respect it, please, and enjoy it and get after it. It's amazing that Jeff Bright at this point in time in his career is still getting after it. So we've got 9 people on the call, and these people first off, I talked with Jeff. I said, Jeff, what you doing? I want in. I don't care what you're doing, but get me in, coach. Put me in the game. And we got some people on my team that can really benefit from this. So you said, okay, you laid it out and said, look, and we're looking for people that are brand new, been with the Alliance, but people that are looking to make some money. And who do you got on your team? So I went around to my team and told some people about it, and they were all for it. And we got them on, and we gave them the 3-number progression plan. And when you laid it out to me, I was like, what this call is going to do, it's going to you can't steer a parked car. So with that first minimum goal number, it gets those people that aren't moving to at least start moving. And we don't like to talk about minimums, but this really is like, this is the goal. That goal number, that first number, is the number to just get somebody moving, break that friction, and get them doing something towards excellent, right? And what I also loved about it is you haven't talked about this, and you said at the beginning of the call you're going to wrap it up, but we're really developing this whole strategy in my mind to recruit more people in depth under these people, because this whole minimum goal gets people moving and they get more confident. And so we've got 9 people on the call. And the first week, Jeff, this is the start of our 3rd week. In our first week, we had 2 people hit the minimum goal. In the 3rd week, we had 3 people hit the minimum goal. And we are now this week focusing on getting depth up under them, which I know we're going to talk about on Friday. We're talking about getting leads from Ashland and her team to make sure they have enough bullets in the gun to make sure they're hitting their goal. Ultimately, we're moving everybody to the goal. And we're just getting people moving in the right direction to grow their business and educating them that they're business owners. They need to manage their schedule. What I loved about Jeff Bright when he rolled it out to me, I said, okay, Jeff, you can hit him with the why and all that educational knowledge you got up on there. And I love the stories you tell and how you're motivating. And everybody, all these 9 people are blessed to be on this call. They love it. We talked to one late last night, Elizabeth, and she was like, I love that call with Jeff Bright. Jason called me today and he was yelling at me for my schedule. And I really wasn't yelling at her. This is what she was telling Olga, but it gives me the authority to say, hey, look, we got Jeff Bright. We got to perform. And 3 people hit it this week, minimum goal. So we rocking.
That's kind of what we do on the call is, I'll do some kind of lesson. Well, I'll teach from the red book there, the house book, and I'll do a core value each week. And then Jason will go over their numbers. Jason he's got a great little spreadsheet that he keeps up with. He puts it on and Jason, tell them about where you get your information for the spreadsheet.
So Jeff hits them with the knowledge, and I start working them with their schedule and the nuts and bolts and what they got to do, all the things they got to do to achieve it. But this thing that Robbie Kraft has put together in this ARC thing, Alliance Resource Center, the team activity tracker. What? Are you kidding me? I am falling in love with this data thing. I love data. I could swim in data. I'm a data hog. I just love to cuddle up with it and sleep with it and just get right up under it. I love me some data. And we log on to this team activity tracker, and guess what's there, Jeff? It's all right there. You log on to art.naaleads.com, and he's got the sales and the recruiting numbers, and they are both, that team is filling that out every single week so we can get the data up to you so you can see how to steer the team and what we need to hammer that week on that Monday call. I'm just in love with this team activity tracker. Robbie Kraft, I'm going to kiss you in the mouth next time I see you.
I don't know what to say to that. I won't be participating in that. So you can see that Jason's model is probably the model of the future because I'm able to work with more people on one call. My biggest problem now is I don't have enough time in the day to work with everybody. So I am still working on some one-on-ones. That is probably it's more optimal for me to work with people one-on-one, but it's not practical. It's just not practical. I can't do it. So thank you, Jason, for putting that together. It's beautiful. I love it. And me and Jason are working so well together with this. It's something I look forward to on Monday nights, actually, working with Jason. All right, so let's move on. And because I'm trying to stay on time, I'm doing really good here. Terry and Tia, I want to talk to you a second. We'll change gears. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to Terry and Tia. Then I'm going to talk to Sweet Lou. And then I'm going to talk to down there at the bottom there, I'm going to talk to Anita, who's been, looks like you've been standing on your head in your car a couple times. I don't know. You're doing all kinds of acrobatics in your car. So we're going to come back to that. You seem like you're stable now, Anita, but I'm going to come back to you. So Terry and Tia, right after Jason's call, if I hadn't ticked my wife royally off, I'll just go ahead and go for it all, and I go have a 9 o'clock call right after the 8 o'clock call, right into Terry and Tia's group. Now, Terry has utilized me in a different way. We're not really talking about the 3-number plan. He's taking what I can do, and I'm doing these sessions with his people. He does the first half of the call. He goes through his business plan and talks about what he needs these people to be doing, and he talks about the numbers, and he does his leaderboards within his organization, the Dream Factory, and he leaves the last half of the conversation for me to do some training on culture. Terry is using me to drive culture and try to create a healthy culture within the Dream Factory. So Terry and Tia, tell them how I'm assisting you.
Well, first of all, I know Nancy is watching. Nancy got to be watching. So Nancy, thank you for sharing Jeff with us on Monday nights. I don't know if you like it, if we're taking them out your hair, or if you're missing them, but either way, we really appreciate it. And the cool part about it, I think Jason said it so eloquently, is the fact that Andy Albright has put resources in place to help us go partner. Because at the Dream Factory, it's partner or bust for us. And Jeff, yes, he does come from an academic background, but the more that I get to know him, he's not just academics. We're talking about a gentleman who worked with over 160 companies just in North Carolina. We're talking about a gentleman who's written mission statements and vision statements for over 50 Fortune 500 companies. We're talking about Jeff Bright. My guy, Jeff Bright, my friend. My friend has conducted sales training with over 500 companies. Like these big pharmaceutical companies, they fly them out to Las Vegas. They give them gambling money and everything. He's helped over 75 companies streamline their hiring processes. And he has the academia to back it up. So I would be an idiot if I only thought that Jeff Bright was the animal test guy, or that what the little 20 minutes that we see him on stage, that there's not more depth to his knowledge. And I don't know about y'all. I am not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm up in the kitchen. I need some help because this is what I know. I'm trying to go partner. We're in a war against poverty. And this mission and this vision of what we're chasing is a God-sized idea that I cannot do by myself without God. And I need a buddy like Jeff Bright to help us out. So culture, John Maxwell says that culture trumps strategy all day long. Culture, like Jeff and Andy Albright wrote this book right here, The House of Values. In my humble opinion, the 8 steps will get you making 100,000. The Millionaire Maker will get you making 83,000 a month. But between the 8 steps and the Millionaire Maker manual, you got to have the culture to not only attract people, but keep people around long enough so that they can realize their dreams and these core values. John Maxwell said, don't tell people what you're going to do because that's vision. Do what you're going to do, and that's culture. And if we do these 8 core values of excellence, service, integrity, gratitude, compassion, community, if we do all 8 of them, and in this book, it has 4 behaviors for each core value. If we do these things, we cannot be duplicated. We're going to be duplicatable within our teams and in our organization, but what other IMOs can't duplicate is our spirit. And this book showcases how we're going to act, and we put it in writing. We ain't one of them companies that call themselves undisciplined. We saying this is who we are. We ain't scared. We're going to put it in writing and hold me to it. So we're using Jeff, not to put us to death, but we're using Jeff as a outside influencer to come into our organization and give our agents a fresh perspective on what it is that we're doing, how can we do it better, and how can we duplicate it faster across the country.
So every week, Jeff is coming on our call, and he spent like 30 to 45 minutes breaking down one core value a week.
Mm-hmm.
So he's breaking it down, and he's breaking down the 4 behaviors, and he's really explaining it. And Tara's like breaking down on how it relates to our business. And so we're so thankful for that, Jeff.
And we're our call is growing. On Monday, normally we have about 25 to 35 people a week on that call at 9 p.m. on a Monday night. This week, we had 52 people on our call. So we just know that the foundation that we're building within the Dream Factory is getting ready to explode, baby, because we're getting greater aligned. We're more unified than we've ever been. And we are just poised for the next 18 months run.
Thank you, Terry. Tia, thank you for the kind words. I did have a career before this. So I have done some things. I just don't talk about it. But hey, Terry's my agent. I'm gonna take him with me everywhere I go.
Well, this is the thing. I know your time is getting limited. I always want to make sure that there's a space on your schedule for the Dream Factory. So if you need me to take your car to get your oil changed, whatever you need to do, we'll do that to protect our time slot.
I'm not gonna give up your. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, so let me check my time here. Make sure I'm doing real. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So, Mr. Lou Abadi.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Lou
Jeff.
Abadi. Yeah, we're gonna change gears a little bit, but I wanna ease into that. The reason I had Lou on here is not the same reason I had Jason, not the same reason I had Terry. But Lou has people I'm working with, correct, Lou? We got him on a 3-number plan, so he's participating in that. And you can comment to that in a minute if you want to, Lou. But if I hear people talk about leads, half the time they bring up, well, I don't have leads or how many leads. It's all wrapped around leads. The other half of the time they talk about products. I'm not ready to go in the home. I don't think I'm ready. Or they think they're ready and they're not ready. I mean, it's either or. And I get confused, Lou, and I don't know if anybody else is confused, but I think when we tell people they can go out and sell without knowing anything, they take it literal. So they go, well, I'm not going to learn anything. I'm going to forget my name. See if that client will remember it for me. You got to know something. Right, Lou? So there's got a good balance. So I wanted Lou, because I listened to Lou one night talk to it wasn't 5 people. It was a couple people on a call about a product. It got me fired up about the product, just him explaining it, because I'm all about, like Terry is, I'm about the war on poverty. More specifically, I'm about killing the cycle of poverty. The only way we're going to do that, we ain't going to fix poverty, but we can kill it in its tracks for the next generation. And one product that got me fired up, that if you can't get behind this product, I don't know if you can get behind any of our products, but it's a little complicated, as Lou explained it so well, but it's an IUL for kids. And I was just, to listen to payoff on that, why wouldn't you get that for your child? If you love that child as much as you say you do, why wouldn't you you're killing yourself getting them to a soccer game where they suck at soccer. Why wouldn't you buy them an IUL that it's tailored for them? So Lou, I listened to that. You got me fired up, but you explained to me, hey, you don't need to learn too much, but you don't need to know too little. Can you explain that balance when you're going out into home?
So thank you, Jeff. And yes, your time is extremely valuable to me as well. I love talking with you. An IUL, to me, I love it because what it can do, especially for the next generation. I even have an agent right now. She hasn't bought a lead. She's been with us for a few months. She's been issue paying about $7,000 to $10,000 a month. And all she is doing is going to moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, and talking about what it can do for their family, for the younger generation. What's it going to do when they reach their 40s, 50s, and 60s? There's going to be money for them where the family doesn't have any money to give them, but they don't have to have somebody to give them the money, because now they're going to give them a gift that's a legacy for the rest of their life. So like what I'm doing with my son and my daughter is this. My son graduated college a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. My gift for the first few years was buying him a nice IUL. He will now have, when he's 65 years old, 66 years old, he will be able to pull out over $80,000 a year just from that. If he passes away, God forbid, his wife, his kids, whoever it's going to be, maybe me, will get like just about $1 million just from a death benefit. But the death benefit isn't the part that we're looking at. The part that we're looking at is what's it going to do for him, his legacy. I don't have to worry about now if he has a job that's going to have benefits, if there's Social Security, if there's whatever later. I'm setting him up for success now with the IUL. And the woman, this Shavonda that I have on my team that's selling it, she's only selling $25, $30, and $50 IULs to these families for their kids. And she's showing them what's it going to do every year of these kids' lives. And it makes people cry. She calls me up sometimes and she goes, Lou, I'm so glad you told me about this IUL. It's making people cry, showing what $25 a month is going to do for their 5-year-old kid when he's 50 and 60 years old. So I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best products, not just for kids. I mean, I'm talking about it for kids now, but it's one of the best products out there, what it can do for anybody in their future. And listening to Gene is, go ahead.
I was going to say, tell them about you were going to tell them about the balance of product knowledge when you go out for the first time, how much you should know, how much you shouldn't know.
So we like to teach, like Andy Albright talks about simplicity. And when I first got here, Riddle was teaching, like whenever Riddle gets people on the phone, teaching them for the first time, we just teach 5 simple products. We don't want them to learn everything we have because it'll take them a year or 2 years to learn everything we have before they go out. So we want them to learn 1 or 2 final expense plans. We want them to learn 1 or 2 term life plans and a guaranteed issue whole life plan. Those are the first 4 or 5 products we want them to learn going out the gate. And it makes them feel comfortable because they know it. And you don't have to be, Mike Hartley taught me this when I first started. The best insurance policy is the one in place when the time you need it. And too many people are sitting there, they're studying all the paperwork, what to do, and they're not getting out helping people. Study what you got to do, take some cheat notes, listen to Gina's videos because they are amazing. Gina Hawks does the most amazing videos. Take these things when you're sitting down doing nothing, read them, learn about them, but it doesn't take long. I'm doing it almost 6 years now. I still get up once a week and I watch a video or 2 on different products just to keep my knowledge going. But you don't need to be the most knowledgeable person in the world on insurance. You'll get there. You have your upline to help you. If you run into something, call them. I call people when I run into something.
Good. You know, just lose passion and you know, I've actually had some of the people I'm working with, and they're in different downlines, call Lou so he can explain to them about that. Hey, we have some products that can change people's lives. I'm trying to fire these people up. I want them to go. They say they want to do it, but I'm not sure their why is big enough yet. So Lou helps me with that a lot. Gina Hawks, I don't know if Gina knows this, but I am pushing a lot of people toward her because she is a great resource here. Absolutely, I'm using Gina Hawks. All right, thank you, Lou. Anita Domingo, down at the bottom there. There you are. I see you. Can you talk to me? No, she's not. Well, let me tell you about Anita while she's
unmute.
It's like watching a silent movie.
Yes, I'm good now.
Oh, you're good now. Okay, all right. So Anita she was introduced to me as somebody that I could work with. We started working with each other a couple months ago, and I introduced her to the 3-number plan. We were on this is a good example of a one-on-one phone call. We actually have our phone call today, right, Anita, at 3:30. That she and I have a one-on-one. And then what Anita did is, Anita's been one of those people, she's not brand new, she's been around a while, but she went on hiatus for a while, she went missing in action for a while, and now she's back going at it again strong. And not only that, she'll have a lot to say on Friday's call because Anita and I have a 4:00 Zoom today where we're driving death. And Anita is bringing brand new people to the party. So
that's right.
Anita, tell them about our relationships and how it got started and how it's helping you, get back in the game and start making money again.
Yeah, my name is Anita Domingo. I am part of the Albright task force, and also Sarge is my my direct line as well. I've been in the alliance for a while, so I never prioritize the alliance. My business, I always prioritize my family. All kids graduated, and I think I got left behind. So Jeff Bright came into our. I don't know how he did, but to me, I think it was a big blessing to our group. And Jeff Bright is the kind of person having that as I call it accountability partner. And but he's very objective about working with us. At first, we were doing phone calls. I would bring in people on the phone, and then everybody got dropped. So that's why we started a video or a Zoom call. And then with Jeff, we feel like Jeff is like what Terry Edwards said. He gives people fresh perspective, where you feel like you matter. He makes the people you matter, So that was very good. And sometimes some of my teammates, they thought that he is the animal guy, because he have this, he made my team, whoever I brought into the group, to take the test, the animal test. And then from there, he explained it and what are the words, when they take the animal test, what is your word? So that word, it gives him a sense of direction, how he would counsel or lead that person. So it has been a very it's a fresh, I said, giving us a fresh perspective. And at this time, I have 5 licensed agents. Ever since he's been working with us, I have called some of the people that I brought in before. They were unlicensed. Then I slowed down, so they all work for another company. One is I told them came from Mr. Primerica, and World Financial Group. Even my son, Alex, he also is working with me now. So what happened with me is from a not priority to a priority, prioritizing alliance as a business. And the foundation that we're building right now, I believe is going to be a solid foundation based on the leadership of Jeff Bright. Imagine he's the one who lead or write the speeches of Andy Albright and become part of us, the alliance in the field, to get in our head, to keep us moving, make us moving. So I believe that's very powerful. Thank you so much, Jeff.
You're welcome, Anita. Hey, I want to say this about Anita. Anita is a heck of we're going to find out on Friday, but Anita is doing something we need to copy because she is a great recruiter. She is building the team. Since I've been talking to her, she's bringing more and more people. And, they're from Prime America and World Financial Group. Anita's somebody to watch, guys. I think she's in it to win it now. She's definitely in it to win it. And so, I just want y'all to get a taste of what we're doing. Andy said, Jeff, I'm going to give you full reign. You move the needle. You figure it out. You do what you need to do. I'm behind you. I like having a leader like Andy who trusts me to do what I think that I've always done in the past for other companies. He's given me the authority to go out and move the needle and try to get these people back in the game and trying to get some of these brand new people not to have bad habits to start off with. But I'm working in conjunction with Ashlyn, with Clay, with Gina, with Chris Hill, with Robbie. We're all working together. I'm not my own little isolation. I am doing my own thing, but I cannot be the best me without these resources that you see in front of you. I can't. I don't know it all. I don't even claim to know it all. I am good at getting people moving. That's one thing I'm good at. Other than that, don't have much product knowledge. I'm learning stuff. I'm learning all those words that I pretended that I understood what you were talking about at convention. I actually know what they mean now. You know, before I just nodded my head because I was embarrassed because I was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Sounds important. So let me kind of, yes, Anita.
Yeah, I have actually right now. I'm with a person that I just brought back in. She attended the G5 ranch training last Monday, and she's now fully licensed. Say hello to Carrie Shekat.
Hello.
Jeff.
Hello. You gonna be on our Zoom call today at 4?
At 4, Carrie.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna learn how to sell to the 4 different types of animals today, right, Anita?
That's right.
We're gonna do some role playing. You're excited. I'm excited to try to pretend to be a beaver because I've never done that before. So, all right. Well, thank you, Anita. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Try to go back to some things. I was talking to this lady this morning. One of the people I talked to, they're on Jason and Tony's team. Her name, she's her last name. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it today. What was it? Sleva? I think that's right. Yeah, last name is Sleva. And she's trying to get back in the game like Anita. Another good example like Anita. And it was funny because we were talking and she was saying that some trick I taught her helped her get past rejection. So I wanted to kind of give you this trick of the day, right? To get people past rejection, because that's why people don't dial. They're feeling like they might get rejected. And guess what? You will get rejected if you dial. I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. That is going to happen. So we're trying to figure out how to get her to embrace dialing and not fear dialing and not fear rejection. So I asked her what her favorite dessert was. And she said a peanut butter cup. Now that's not mine. Mine would be tiramisu. I'll do just about anything for tiramisu. But she loves a peanut butter cup, evidently. And she said, yeah, that's my favorite dessert. I said, okay, so you're going to do 50 dials here in just a little bit. Yep. And I'm dreading them. I said, I know you are. I said, how many contacts should you make in those 50 dials? She said, 10. I said, all right, I want you to put that peanut butter cup right in front of you. Stare at it while you do the 50 dials. If you hit 10 or more, she interrupted me and she said, I get to eat that peanut butter cup, don't I? I'm like, no, you do not. If you hit your goal and you hit 10 or more, I want you to get up, take the peanut butter cup, and throw it away in the trash can. A good peanut butter cup, throw it away. You can't eat it. And she's like, oh, this don't sound good at all. I'm like, well, listen to the rest of it. If you get more rejections than you set out to, and let's say you only get 5 contacts, you get less than 10 contacts, you get to eat the peanut butter cup. That sounds crazy. That's unorthodox. Jeff, why would you have her eat it if she didn't succeed? I'm getting her used to accepting and embracing rejection. She gets a peanut butter cup if she gets more rejections than she expected to get. But guess what's going to happen after a while? She's going to get sick of eating peanut butter cups every time she gets more rejection. First, it gets her happy about getting the rejection. It doesn't hurt as much. It minimizes the pain of the rejection. But after a while, she's like, I'm getting sick of eating peanut butter cups. I don't want to get rejected anymore. So it kind of gets her into the mode of not looking. I mean, she don't look forward to dialing. Nobody ever does. It's not the sexiest thing we got, but it is a necessary evil. So I'm trying to get her with a mind trick to like not fear rejection. And she tried that and it worked. And she started getting better at dialing. And she was letting me know how that went today. And she got so excited because she got many more appointments than she's ever got. And she was fired up out of her mind. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want you to get fired up out of your mind because you're succeeding. Nor do I want you to get to the lowest of lows when you're failing. I need you to remain even. It's called the Jerry Seinfeld effect. Jerry always said, I'm always going to come out even. He never got real high, and he never really got real low. I also call it the Barry Sanders effect. Barry Sanders was a great running back for the Detroit Lions. Maybe one of the greatest running backs of all time. He only played like 9 seasons in the NFL, and then he suddenly just disappeared off the face of the earth and retired. But when Barry Sanders scored a touchdown, he never spiked the ball ever. He didn't do some kind of crazy dance. He just handed the ball to the ref. And I was telling her this morning, hand the ball to the ref. I don't want you to get so high and celebrate all these appointments that you're making, because you can have a bad week and it could go really low. I don't want that contrast. That contrast makes people sit down. I need you to stay even. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Now that technique works for her. I may not use that for everybody, but I know her. I've been working with her. That's what I work with. That's what I can do for you folks. I can find out what makes you tick, and I can pick the trick that's tricking you to be successful. Does that make sense? I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so.
I like that.
All right. I'm looking at this. 5 minutes. All right. Let's take this want to, need to, willing to, and what you're going to do, and let's put what I call the 4 R's attached to these 4 questions.
4 R's. Yeah.
The 4 R's. Want to is recognize. Need to is rationalize. Willing to is what I call the reckoning. And going to is called redemption. Redemption. So guess what? When I got somebody in a want to mode, I'm really trying to get them to recognize that they're on a path that's not a good path. And we need to think about how this path is not a healthy path. It is not the path they need. They need to want to do something different. They need to recognize the absence of something in their life. That's what want to is. When you recognize the absence of something you don't have. I need them to recognize that they don't have or they're not on the right path. That's when I know that I've got them in a want to mode. Because want to and an effective want to will kill doubt with confidence. I'm trying to instill confidence when I'm driving a want to, because I want to kill doubt. Now, need to, rationalize. Now I knew, once I get them to recognize, I want them to rationalize that they need to change. I need to find the reason to get them to change in this need to mode. Because procrastination will attack your need to. And the way you kill procrastination is with this sense of initiative. Take initiative. Get in the fight. Do something. Hit one app. Just get one app for me. Just hit your minimum. Just get in the fight. I need you to take one step forward so procrastination won't hold you in place. All right? People that live and want to and need to and never move from this, they only live in a confident initiative mode, which sounds great, but I need them to go to the willingness and step over into this new ground called willingness and going to. That's where success is. But a lot of people that stay in want to and need to, they often, if they're stuck there, they often see a blessing as a curse. They'll turn a good old-fashioned blessing right into a curse. But if I can get you over to the willing and going to land and move you to this different land, this foreign land, and you never stood on this type of earth, that land allows you to take a curse that's right in front of you and turn it into a blessing every single time. Every single time. But I got to get you to the willing to. I got to get you determined. I got to get you enthusiastic. Because if I don't, If I don't, you're going to play this what if game the rest of your life. Well, what if I'd have tried to do this? What if I would have listened? What if I'd have taken advantage of the opportunity? I want you to fear yesterday, and I want you to celebrate rejection with me. And willingness will drive that. Now, getting you into a have-to mode. That is where you're accepting a routine. The 3-number plan is a routine. I'm trying to get you away from trying to do it your way. The way that Andy Albright has set up a system that is perfect. If you follow it, you're going to make money. I don't need you to play this game of deviation, trying to deviate from something that's already been proven that works for other people because you just want to try it your way. How about trying it the right way, the way that works? So the way you do this, 1 minute. The way you do this is that you've got to find 2 things to happen in your life. The reckoning has to happen and redemption. What is the reckoning? Once you become willing, you recognize the reckoning. And the reckoning is when you see the consequences of your actions, you start weighing the consequences, and you start choosing the right path. The reckoning is when you change your life direction. Redemption is when you finally realize and you gain possession of the life that's got out of control, and you realize one thing during redemption, that I deserve better than the crap that's been dealt me my whole life. And I decided right now that I'm going to take my life back. I hope this call's helped you. Tune in Friday. We're going to talk about drive and depth with these same folks. I've enjoyed it. My name's Jeff Wright. Call me if you need me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Awesome.